do we have the ability to whatever is underneath Pickaxe Mountain?
Senator, a lot of our capabilities are classified, but if anybody in the world can reach anything on God's green earth, it's the United States military, the most powerful military in the world. It's all about options and trade-offs.
All right. I'm going to take a little extra time because others got it, Madam Chair. I won't abuse it. Secretary.
Absolutely, yes. There are farmers of the sea.
Are oyster harvesters farmers?
Yes. In this USDA,
They
yes.
having to compete with other countries who grow oysters and shrimp in a ditch and shoot them full of antibiotics?
100% yes.
What happens if we come home and end the blockade to the world?
Sir, Iran has the potential to continue to be a threat, and we will need to prepare military
Will they
options to
toll
do
the
that.
strait?
Sir, that's a hypothetical question, and I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, it's not hypothetical. We come home. It's not going to be hypothetical. You know that, General. We need some hard answers and some straight talk.
Senator, I would agree with the chairman, but the likely outcome is they would try to impose their will on the waterways in ways that the world would not like. Call it a toll, call it a fee, call it an exchange, call it control. They would do something that they would try to hold it at issue.
This clip is getting attention for the shrimp joke at the end. What nobody is covering is what came before it. And what came before it is one of the most direct national security exchanges in any Senate hearing this year. Senator Kennedy walks in with 4 questions and demands straight answers on all of them. No hedging, no diplomatic language, no hypotheticals. Question 1. Do we want Ukraine to win? Is Russia our friend? Question 2. We have a bill to cut off Russia's oil cash flow. We have the votes to pass it. Why hasn't Senate leadership brought it to the floor? Question 3. If America ends the Iran blockade and comes home, what actually happens? To the strait, to nuclear development, to the world? Question 4. Can the U.S. military destroy whatever Iran has built underneath Pickaxe Mountain? As a journalist covering national security for 7 years, the answers given in this hearing are more consequential than anything being discussed in the shrimp clip. Let's go through it.
In the war between Russia and Ukraine, who do we want to win?
Sir, I want Ukraine to win.
Is Russia America's friend?
I'm sorry, sir, I couldn't quite hear your question.
Is Russia America's friend?
I think that depends on your definition of friend. I think it's a complicated relationship.
If we could cut off Russia's cash flow, which depends substantially on its sale of oil, would that help Ukraine win?
So I think militarily, anytime you can restrict resources and cash flows against an adversary.
General, I
That's
have
a good
so
thing.
much respect for you.
Yes, sir.
But I have so little time.
Yes, sir. I'll try to be
Just
briefer.
Give me succinct answers.
Yes, sir. It would assist a.
Would help, wouldn't
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kennedy opens with the simplest possible questions and gets the most revealing answers. Do we want Ukraine to win? The general says yes, he wants Ukraine to win. Is Russia America's friend? It's a complicated relationship, but no, they are not friends. Those 2 answers, stated plainly under oath, matter more than they sound, because the administration's public posture on Russia and Ukraine has been anything but plain. The general just put the military's assessment on the record. Ukraine should win. Russia is not a friend. That is now the stated position of U.S. military leadership in a congressional hearing.
If we could stop people, entities, and countries from buying Russia's oil, that would help cut off its cash flow, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
We have a bill to do that, as I'm sure you're aware. We have the votes today to pass it overwhelmingly. I also have enormous respect and admiration for our majority leader, Senator Thune. But I hope everybody on this panel will today contact Senator Thune and ask him to bring that bill to the floor. We should vote on it at a minimum of next week.
Kennedy reveals something the cable news coverage has missed entirely. There is a bill currently in the Senate that would cut off Russia's oil cash flow, the primary funding mechanism for its war in Ukraine. The votes exist to pass it overwhelmingly today, and Senate Majority Leader Thune has not brought it to the floor. Kennedy uses his hearing time to publicly call on everyone on the panel to contact Thune and demand a floor vote next week. That is an extraordinary use of a national security hearing, a senator publicly pressuring his own party's leadership through military witnesses on national television. The bill exists. The votes exist. The only thing standing between it and passage is a scheduling decision. That fact is now on the congressional record.
Some of my colleagues, General, want America to just stop in Iran, end the blockade, bring all of our warriors home. What would be the consequences of that in your estimation?
Sir, I think termination criteria is always a political decision. However, I assess that Iran will continue to be a challenge moving forward. So we have to be thoughtful
Will
about
they
that.
put tolls on the strait?
I don't know, sir. That's a decision that's a hypothetical and will depend on what happens
It's not
in the future.
hypothetical. We got a blockade to stop them.
We do, sir. That's
General,
putting
I want you to
economic
look me in
pressure
the
on
eye.
Iran.
I'm not asking you for, I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I know your advice to the president is private, but this is serious as 4 heart attacks and a stroke. Now, what happens if we come home and end the blockade to the world?
Sir, Iran has the potential to continue to be a threat, and we will need to prepare military
Will they
options to
toll
do
the
that.
strait?
Sir, that's a hypothetical question, and I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, it's not hypothetical. We come home. It's not going to be hypothetical. You know that, General, and I do too. And I appreciate your discretion, but we're down to it. We need some hard answers and some straight talk. What'll happen, Pete?
Senator, I would agree with the chairman, but the likely outcome is they would try to impose their will on the waterways in ways that the world would not like. Call it a toll, call it a fee, call it an exchange, call it control. They would do something that they would try to hold it at issue. Yes, sir.
Would they try to commence development again of a nuclear warhead?
Some colleagues want America to simply stop, end the blockade, bring the troops home. Kennedy doesn't frame it as a political question. He frames it as a military one. What are the actual consequences? The general hedges. Termination criteria is a political decision. Iran will continue to be a challenge. It depends on what happens. Kennedy pushes back. It's not hypothetical. We come home. What happens? The general acknowledges Iran would try to impose its will on the waterways, tolls, fees, control. They would try to hold the strait at issue. Then Kennedy goes further. Would Iran recommence nuclear weapons development? The answer is the most direct thing said in this hearing. Iran never gave up its nuclear ambitions, even after its sites were obliterated in Operation Midnight Hammer. This is a regime hell-bent on nuclear development, and President Trump acted because of that reality. The blockade is not just a military operation. It is the only thing currently standing between Iran's nuclear ambitions and the capability to act on them. Ending it without a verified permanent resolution doesn't bring peace. It creates a vacuum.
Part of the reason President Trump had to have the courage to do what he did after Midnight Hammer is that they didn't give up their ambitions even though their nuclear sites had been obliterated. So this is a regime hell-bent on nuclear ambitions, and
Guys,
President
we
Trump's
need
been willing to
straight
go after them.
answers. We need straight answers. Do we have the ability to whatever is underneath Pickaxe Mountain?
Senator, a lot of our capabilities are classified, but if anybody in the world can reach anything on God's green earth, it's the United States military, the most powerful military in the world. It's all about options and trade-offs.
Kennedy asked a question that the entire Iran nuclear debate has been building toward, and that no senator has asked this directly in any public hearing. Pickaxe Mountain is the site where Iran has buried its most protected nuclear facilities deep underground. Do we have the military capability to destroy whatever is down there? The general cannot answer fully classified capabilities. But what he does say is the most significant military statement in this hearing. If anybody in the world can reach anything on God's green earth, it's the United States military. The most powerful military in the world. It's all about options and trade-offs. That answer is not a confirmation. It is not a denial. It is a signal, deliberately crafted, carefully worded, and now on the congressional record. Iran heard it, the world heard it. And the trade-off calculation it references is the one driving every decision being made in Washington right now.
I'm going to take a little extra time because others got it, Madam Chair. I won't abuse it. Secretary, are shrimpers farmers?
Absolutely, yes. They're farmers of the sea.
Are oyster harvesters, farmers?
Yes. In this USDA,
They
yes.
having to compete with other countries who grow oysters and shrimp in a ditch and shoot them full of antibiotics?
100% yes.
And if you eat too much of that foreign shrimp and oysters, you'll grow an extra ear, won't you?
I'm not sure about that, but I know it is not good. And I also know we
Why
import
aren't we
90% of our
inspecting
shrimp.
the shrimp and the oysters from abroad?
Well, it goes much larger than that. Why are we importing so much from abroad, which goes to the president's trade agenda?
I'm in big trouble.
Yes, you are.
Guys, look, we need straight answers now. We're down to it.
Kennedy closes with something that catches the room off guard: shrimp and oysters. But the point underneath it is serious. America imports 90% of its shrimp and oysters from abroad, from countries that farm them in conditions that would never be permitted under U.S. standards, using antibiotics that are banned here. American shrimpers and oyster harvesters, farmers of the sea, are competing against subsidized foreign producers under conditions they cannot match. The Secretary acknowledges it immediately, and acknowledges it connects directly to the president's trade agenda. Kennedy doesn't finish the thought before time runs out. But the point is made. The national security conversation and the economic conversation are the same conversation. What happens in the Strait of Hormuz affects oil prices. What happens in trade policy affects whether American farmers, on land and at sea, can survive. The shrimp line gets the laugh. The trade deficit it represents is not funny at all.